Hello, I'm Ben Valley.
And that's ginger ale?
This is Ginger Ale. We're on Brick.
Uh-huh.
And I work for Everything Has a Place, Teresa Downham. And I met her in September of 2009. I was volunteered into this position, one of the first employees. My brother actually volunteered me because Teresa stood up in the middle of a meeting and says, I need help. I need somebody that can help me with what I do. It's a little bit more than I thought. And we're going to do this one again.
Of
It's
course.
on cue.
That
Perfect.
is very on
Yeah, it's
cue. That's right.
Take 3.
Hey,
Nah, I kind of like it the way it is.
It's raw.
Well, it's better to have the dogs in the background.
Most
Dogs are part of
raw.
life, you know.
But you turn the fire off. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. Well, if you're cold, you can flip it back on.
hey.
All right.
You have to talk about your specialty.
My
You have a,
specialty.
you have a specialty.
Yeah, you got to talk about your specialty.
Areas.
Yes.
But I try to be efficient and
Yes.
boxes have to stick. Like boxes with like boxes. Everything has to be in their place. And even within the crew, if we're sticking things a little bit crooked or the label's not on there straight, oh boy, it drives me crazy.
He's obsessive. He's one chromosome off a monk.
Yes.
And that's the reason why I love having Vin on my crew, and I say this to all my clients. I wish I had 20 Vins because he is the happiest in anything dirty. He loves attics and basements, and the dirtier the better. He loves it. And he comes out smiling. He can have a total sooty face, and he comes out with this big white smile.
Yep.
That's why
the
it is
garage
a
king.
beautiful thing
Oh, I
having
love
Vin
it.
on a crew.
What do you do for fun?
I
Yeah.
play drums.
Yeah.
I play out every Friday night. I've been doing that since I was about 16 years old. So.
And if you work with him, he's constantly humming and beating and drumming and
Oh, yes.
talking. And
Oh, yeah.
so he
Taps
self-entertainment.
man. He's a taps man.
Yeah. And a big Italian family.
Yes.
Oh, and now we have John Allen.
I'm John Allen. I'm the oldest one in the group. But as soon as I grow up, I'm going to be a fireman or a policeman. I've
Do it soon.
been a biologist. I worked 35 years at Kodak. I've had my own business. I've worked in the exhibit area. I keep retiring and I keep getting bored. So I wanted to do something that involved people, and Teresa asked me to work with her, and it's been terrific. I've really enjoyed it. I tend to be a little expressive with my face, and Teresa's always giving me opportunities to roll my eyes.
He does it well, too, though.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Very
Don't roll your eyes
charismatic.
at me.
He's very charismatic.
And she says she gives Vin all the dirty jobs, but
He's my partner.
I've been working in basements and attics and outside, and she just put me breaking down a blacksmith shop, of which she didn't even show up at.
Wait a minute, aren't they all dirty
You wonder
jobs?
why?
I was covered with soot.
Yeah.
On the way home after working there a whole day, I stopped in at a coffee place, and they looked at me and said, "What on earth has happened to you?" And I kind of didn't even realize I don't look in mirrors very often. I have freckles and red hair and stuff. You don't look in mirrors.
How about your kids? You got a barrel of kids?
Yeah,
Grandkids?
I got 6 kids. I got 8 now, soon to be 9 grandkids, and they're spread all over from Japan to Florida to California to right here. I really enjoy people. I think my kids and my grandkids have trained me well, and I think it's really, in this business, it's all about the people. It's trying to help them be comfortable with parting from things, that realizing that objects don't carry the memories of their life. Their heads carry the memories of their life, and if they can separate that out, then they have a much easier time of getting rid of stuff. Which is probably why I work in the basements and the attics where all that stuff is stored.
Yeah, no.
Funny.
The reason why I like having John on our crew is because he's kind of like the guy that always gets me out of trouble. He's the one that I can go to when I feel like I'm stuck. John has also got a handyman business, John of all trades, and so he can do anything. He knows how to get everything fixed and everything put in this place. Plus, of course, not just because he's the senior in our group, but my customers love to work with John, and it just is a no-brainer whenever I bring him in.
Well,
Really?
I do find the keys that you've lost in your pocket. Look at your left-hand pocket. That's where the key is.
Well, thank goodness somebody's keeping track of me. That's okay.
Oh, you're a pleasure to work with.
Yeah,
We're a
very
good crew.
easy to
We're
work
so diverse. I think the blessing
Yeah, that's
is
a lot
being
of it.
so
That's right.
diverse.
Yeah,
Very right.
it really
Yep,
is.
absolutely.
And this is just part of us here too. Is we have some other ones that are away. We'll talk about later. But I want to meet you, the newest member of our group, Joe.
That's me. I am the newest member. I think I've only been on here since maybe September.
Yeah.
And Joe Kwiatkowski, everybody calls me Joe Kwai. Like John, I'm a Kodak person. I've been an engineer for 30 years there, and my story of running into Teresa is very diverse and different. I was actually on a business trip, sitting on a plane, and we just struck up a conversation. I started
we were
talking
sitting
about what
next
she
to each
does,
other, yeah.
and I'm a Type A personality. Goes along with being an engineer, I guess, but very much into cleanliness, organization skills. I've always kind of been that way. House is always very cleaned out, and so Teresa and I struck up this conversation. I heard about what she did as a business, and I was very intrigued. And so, we just kind of said, well, let's try and do something together. And so I've hopped onto this group of wonderful people, and as like John was just saying, very, very diverse group of people. Great personalities that kind of click together. And I found it very, very interesting work. I found it to be very exciting. It's very different for me than sitting in an office and getting in there and cleaning out, as well as the emotional component. I kind of liked what you said there, John. It's interesting how I think in some of my first jobs, we went in, and Vin and I were actually working in the basement, and just trying to, you can't really throw anything out because these people just don't want to get rid of stuff.
Right.
And you have to be appreciative of that, and you have to try and separate them from the mental aspect as well as the emotional aspect of just trying to keep this stuff for so many years. And so you have to be cognizant of that. And it's not always an easy thing to do, but it's a learning process for me as well. I work as a part-time personal trainer. I'm trying to get my certifications at the Y right now. So this is kind of my third job. It's
So we hope we can
interesting
hold
for
on
me.
to 'em.
That's why I stay so thin and svelte. It's by being, by working in organizational skills with Teresa, and she's dynamic. She's great to work for, as well as people like Vin and Cindy and John. I mean, our personalities meld well together as a group, and everybody's able to teach somebody else something, and it works out very well. So I am the newest member, but I'm hoping to get more involved in this as we progress forward, and it's great to be in this kind of an environment.
When we need extra hands, it's been fun. Like your son's come on board with us
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a
it
couple
is.
of jobs, so it's fun to see the father-son working
It
together.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
also
that's right.
Those
competition.
dynamics.
Yeah, I know,
Those
exactly.
dynamics are great.
Yeah, and help me out there, John, because it's interesting if I try and mold him in the process to make sure that I'm not too strong on him or something.
Oh, you're
It's,
great.
Well, we just
Yeah,
have to have the job that you guys run where I bid it out at 7 hours and you got it done at 4. Talk
Yeah.
about competition between
Yeah.
father and sons. My
Yeah, I
gosh,
have my
I played.
stepson with me.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
We
My
have 2
son-in-law.
father-sons.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it really got done quicker than I thought. I showed up to see if they wanted any lunch, and they were already done. So that was really good. But
Well,
there's a
There was a little competition there. So,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
Father, son. So, but it worked out well.
Well, there's always a good reason why I like to have Joe on the job. I've found that Joe's energy, he brings a certain energy to the group, and I think again too, he is also like Vin and like one DNA short of Monk, in that he is,
Yes,
also
organized.
Yeah.
it's that organizing thing, that's
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah.
But the high energy is really something. I found Cindy through actually, it was your mom,
I think it was my mom,
and it was through Lifespan.
right?
I put a shout out to a local senior services company here that I needed some help, and it was Cindy's mother, who's also a realtor, and she had a connection there, and all of a sudden I got a call about Cindy. And Cindy truly she's my teacher, the person that I really do like to put up front a lot, because everyone just loves her. She's the hardest on me, but she is.
Somebody
she
has to
is.
be.
Yeah, somebody has to
She's
be.
harder than me?
Yeah, I've seen
thanks
it.
for
I've
taking
seen
the picture.
it.
All right.
I've seen it, John. You missed that.
I've been doing a lot of this besides my company. You were really doing this on your own in several different capacities, but that was really what was the no-brainers, that you had all this experience when you came. Where all these other guys, man, I had to teach them and teach them and teach them.
You're still teaching me.
Cindy,
Never
she's the
stops.
one teaching me, so
I have a lot of organizational skills.
yes,
So I
that's the truth.
can, like, then size something up and make it fit, make it work.
You're a hard worker too. I mean, I've seen you get in
It's
there and you just
unbelievable.
don't stop. And
Unbelievable
that's
worker.
another benefit of this team, I think. Everyone is so inclusive in the task, and I don't think people. We don't generally take breaks, or lunches
No.
are generally very short, and
I
it's
know,
a dynamic
it's-
team. So.
Well, it's that whip in the corner.
Yeah.
I came
Well,
to
you're in the corner right now, so you're the whip. Don't let the dog fool you.
What I like about Cindy is her ability to talk with
Yeah.
the lady of the household and the man of the household and really understand how they're coming around to dispose of stuff. She can really wrap her head around how they feel about things, and you do a terrific job. When we were doing that house in Irondequoit, which was a very sensitive
Right.
move out, you really helped that lady
Yeah,
downsize
Susan,
and get rid of stuff when her husband wanted to keep everything.
Everything.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And you did a phenomenal job.
And that's the
I was
truth.
off in corners and basements and garages, but you were stuck right in the middle of things, and you did a great job.
Well, thank you. Once you get to understand where they're coming from, you just, a lot of them just need a friend, somebody to talk to.
But you have this innate ability, though, to do that. It's true. I feel comfortable leaving a job because I know that you're there. Now, all of you, I feel that way. But especially with Cindy, because when there is a woman in the house, it isn't always easy for you guys to help them clean out their underwear drawers, So it's nice for Cindy because she does have this nice way to help people know that they feel safe.
Yeah.
And that's so important.
Yeah, you have a calming
is.
personality,
It's the
so you
truth.
interact well with other people. You're able to pull them in easily, and
That's very nice, because that's
Yeah,
not what
it's-
Vin tells me, but that's very nice.
we don't listen to Vin all the time. Look at him over there. We don't listen to Vin constantly.
Yes,